This week at Warner Bros. Movie World, the fate of the missing Joker face continues. A possible hint towards the opening date for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster is dropped. Work continues on the old restaurant building at the front of the park, and I read your comments and your thoughts. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Yum Yum Report, bringing you bite-sized updates from Australian theme parks, as well as occasional updates from theme parks around the world. Before we start, I'd like to give a quick thank you to Team Yum Yum for supporting my content. Thank you so much. This week we popped into Movie World for a very brief visit. We aren't visiting for long these days because there's not a lot going on at the park, to be honest. It was very quiet, kind of an eerie vibe, which seems to be the theme of the park during this time of year. Hello, Crow. The first thing we had a look at when we arrived at the park was the DC Rivals Hypercoaster to see if there was any progress on the missing Joker face, and it doesn't look like there is. It's still not there, and presumably having some work done on it to maybe fix some of the LED lights. And I'm wondering if it's going to make a return in time for the Superheroes and Supervillains event. It would be weird if it didn't. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Next, we made our way down to the back end of the park to have a look at Wild West Falls to see if there was anything new to report, and there wasn't really much going on this week. The ugly fence is still haunting us, and the only thing we did notice this week was that they're replacing the old eggplant toys at the basketball game with some kind of emoji balls. I don't know what to call them. I guess the eggplants weren't really popular. I miss when they had those cool bananas with cowboy hats. At least they were somewhat themed into the area. The emoji balls just feel a bit random and out of place. I've never personally played any of them because none of the prizes appeal to me. What kind of prizes would you be interested in winning at one of these games? Condolences to the eggplant. We had a quick look at the DC Supervillains Unleashed area. Lots of stuff going on this week at DC Supervillains Unleashed. Just kidding, nothing was happening in DC Supervillains Unleashed. Although they did recently do some work doing touch-ups on the paint around some of the areas, and the music is on, and the fire effects are still on the screens for some reason, which makes me wonder if they're going to utilize the space all for the Superheroes and Supervillains event. I'm not really sure. I think it would be cool if they had some kind of show or something. They've got a little stage in this area that never gets used, and there's nothing else really to do in this area. It's sort of a dormant space, so it would make sense to use it for something, to have some meet and greets or characters walking around. I guess we'll wait and see. Still no signs of updates on the Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster, although I've been trying to cast my secret Yum Yum magic abilities to bring the opening date a little bit closer. And I posted a poll on Instagram to see whether people thought it would actually open by the end of the year or not. 70% of people thought it would, and 30% of people thought it wouldn't. And I was personally in the party that thought it actually wouldn't open by the end of the year. I think if it does reopen by the end of the year, it'll open at the very last second. I don't know why, I can't really pinpoint why I feel that way. I guess because of the lack of updates or visible progress. I feel like if your signature attraction was definitely reopening by the end of the year, October, November, early December maybe, you would probably start hyping it up a little bit more. You would start advertising it, do some kind of promotion. But they haven't done any kind of promotion really, except for dropping a little throwback to the original Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster advert that ran when the ride opened originally. And in the post they said something about it opening by the end of the year, which kind of indicates that they're running on track, I think, but I still can't guarantee that. Unfortunately, I've still that sour taste from the Wizard of Oz precinct opening, which was very last second and didn't feel like the actual opening. So I don't know what's going to happen. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this video, please feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more. It really helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. Moving back down to the front end of the park, it was very quiet. There was basically nobody around, and we had a quick look at the restaurant building, which has some new construction walling around, which I actually really like the design that they've used for it. I think it's kind of fun looking, and it's got Warner Brothers characters on it. I think it looks really nice, and it's difficult to tell what's happening with this restaurant building, if they are going to reuse it for some kind of food outlet in the future or not, or if they're going to turn it into a shop or something. I did post on social media Instagram and YouTube community asking what everyone else thought about what they would like to see in this space, and I got some interesting comments. Blah, 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 blah. Josh Ski Legendmate says, probably a dine-in restaurant, hopefully themed. Yeah, this would be the ideal thing, Josh Ski Legendmate. I would love to see some kind of themed dining experience here at the front of the park. I've said it before in the past, but I feel like Movie World is really missing something to compete with Jane's Rivertown restaurant over at Dreamworld. The only question is, what would they theme it to? Germ Goated says, Scooby-Doo spooky subs. I really like that idea. Whenever I watched Scooby-Doo as a kid, I always wanted to eat those big sandwiches that Scooby and Shaggy would make. And I actually did try to make those when I was a kid. I would get in trouble a lot because I would kind of take all the ingredients from the fridge and make this 3 or 4 layered sandwich that had everything inside of it, and it was never good. It never lived up to my expectation. So I'd love to eat a real Scooby-Doo spooky sub sandwich to see what I'm missing out on. Callie Cosplay says, I hope it's grilled. I have heard a few rumors that there's been some grilled workers spotted around this area, which would be interesting. I'm not sure if I like that idea very much. I do like grilled. I don't know if it quite fits the itch that I once scratched for this space at Warner Brothers Movie World. To me, putting something that's a brand like that here sort of feels a bit soulless and uncreative, unless they do theme it in some way. I guess they could theme it if they had some exclusive burgers and things. In the past, Grilled did some cool promotions for some movies, like the Barbie movie. They did a special burger that I tried out, which was quite nice. So something like that would be cool. I'm not sure how I feel about a flat-out grilled place in the theme park though. Clairebear806 also said, I still think it's going to be grilled, but I'd love to see something else too. Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. I wonder where these rumors actually started from. Maybe they were just workers that happened to have grilled shirts on. Dane's Theme Park Life says, I really hope it's themed like Jane's, offer a character breakfast and lunch like Disney. I really like this idea as well, Dane. I think they need something at this park that has the characters walking around, as you say, like at a Disney park. When I went to Hong Kong Disneyland recently, at the hotels they had dining experiences like this where you would be able to meet the characters in between your courses, or if you went to a buffet, for example, the characters would have a space at the front of the restaurant where you could go and meet them. And this was really cool, and the characters would kind of walk around and interact with people, and it just created a really wholesome and fun atmosphere. And Movie World's got a great selection of characters that they could bring to the restaurant, and I think it's a golden opportunity. I think that's a great idea. Red Reborn says something like Planet Hollywood, perhaps. That's a really cool idea as well. I think they need something to tie in with the legacy of a movie-themed park, because it is a very unique selling point, and there's something romantic about that original classic Hollywood vibe. I feel like a restaurant that is tied into that theme would be really nice. Carla NZ75 says, hopefully not a generic burger place. Let's hope fully themed to a ride area in the park. Scooby. Yeah, similar to what I was saying earlier with Germ Goated, a Scooby-Doo themed dining experience would be really fun. There's a lot of cool opportunities that they could use, like an interactive show where maybe the mystery gang solves a mystery in the restaurant. Jordan Not a Whale says, honestly, although I hope it will be a themed restaurant, I feel like it will just be some basic restaurant, maybe even a grilled. Ha 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 ha. My comment wasn't even funny, lol. It could also be a store. That's a lot of laughing emojis, Jordan. I feel like I have to manage my expectations with Movie World lately, and although I'd love a kind of themed dining experience, honestly, in my heart, I feel like it will likely be something simple like a grilled or possibly a shop, as you say. But hopefully not. Hopefully they do something creative. Parkitecture says whatever's on clearance. Yeah, I mean, it does feel, I don't know, just the fact that they haven't really revealed anything. They haven't put up signs saying what's happening outside of it. They don't really give any idea of what it's going to be, so that kind of leads me to believe that it's sort of nothing impressive, as far as I can tell from the outside. The Real Generic Smile says, I'm hoping a themed Wizard of Oz restaurant, but I think it's going to have something to do with the superheroes versus villains event, or the Scooby-Doo ride when it opens. A Wizard of Oz restaurant would be really cool, and I feel like they missed the opportunity for that, especially in the precinct itself. I would have loved to see some kind of dining experience or food option available in that precinct, such as like a little coffee stand or something selling drinks, maybe inside of the Emerald Palace itself. Because at the moment, there's nowhere to get drinks in that area. You can't even get water. There's no water fountain. I feel like the area in general is just missing a sort of food option or something else, among many other things, obviously. As to the superheroes and villains event, I'm not sure how I could see this being utilized for that event. And yeah, again, Scooby-Doo food is a great idea. Judge Dunphy, the architecture, says, I want a Wonka chocolate boat ride. Yes, that would be really cool at Movie World. I think a Willy Wonka area would be really neat. Although I don't think they have the space in that particular spot for it. I think if it were to go somewhere in the park, it would be where the DC Supervillains Unleashed area currently sits. That's all the comments I received about the restaurant, and it was really fun reading your ideas and your thoughts. So thank you so much to everyone who left your comments, and I'm sorry if I missed any, but if you'd like to be a part of future discussions, make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel to stay posted on my YouTube community, where I'll post lots of updates and prompts for future discussions. I hope you enjoyed watching this Yum Yum report from Movie World. Please feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more. And before we finish, I'd like to wrap things up by giving a very special thank you to Team Yum Yum for supporting my content. A very special thank you to Koala75, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, Randall, Maloney's Coasters, Carrie Jackin, Kai on the Internet, Audrey Allen, Oogie Boogie, Theme Park Ogre, Jordan Casey, Germ, Medic Brick, Movies Like Everyone, and the latest member of Team Yum Yum, Senpai's JP Blue Dog. Thank you so much everyone for your very kind and generous support, which really means so much to me. I seriously can't thank you enough that you enjoy my videos enough to support me in this way. For anyone who would like to become a channel member, you're more than welcome to do so. This will give you access to new videos early, you'll get a special shout out and thanks at the end of my videos, as well as a Yum Yum sticker next to your username on YouTube, and some special emojis to use in the comments and chats. And last but not least, you'll also get a special custom hand-drawn illustration by me to fit your very needs and requirements. But if you're not in a position to support the channel by becoming a member of Team Yum Yum, you can also leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more. Thank you so much once again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.